When building an offense in Madden 25, it's important that you guys isolate whip routes as something that ties your scheme together. This is for a couple reasons. First and foremost, the whip route is very, very effective at beating zone, whether it's a release to the outside or a release over the middle as a check down option. In fact, I did a short, the very first short of the year, in which I talked about playbook specific routes being the target of your offense and how you lab. And the other reason is that they took away whip routes unless you guys have the hot route master. So this is a route that used to exist as a simple hot route. Now you have to go specifically to formations in playbooks that have a lot of them. Today's video is going to show why the whip route is so effective. I'm also going to show you guys the adjustment that slows it down. And if you guys stick around till the end of the video, I'll show you guys the adjustment that completely intercepts this, regardless of whether or not they're going inside or outside. So make sure you guys are subscribed right here to the Zan Madden YouTube channel. I'm working my tail off to bring you guys content to help you improve at Madden 25 with longs in the mornings, Monday through Friday, and shorts in the afternoons. In today's video, we are going to be in the Atlanta Falcons offense. And I think that this is a great offense. It's really the best bunch offense, or one of the more popular bunch offenses in the game, because it boasts the bunch and also the bunch offset. Now, for the purpose of this video, we're going to focus on why the whip route, also known as the return route when it's breaking over the middle to the inside, is so valuable. So we're going to utilize bench pivot, a little bit of smash return. We're also going to make sure that we have dig return in our arsenal. Now, starting off here, this is a zone-based game. Zone's not great, but it's better than man. And when it comes to zone coverage, they do not really do a great job at defending whips. So one of the more popular setups that you'll see players use for smash return that you can use with the bunch to the wide side or the short side of the field is as such. You'll see a drag underneath, block the running back if you need to protect your quarterback. Otherwise, you can just go ahead and go quick to the flat, quick over the middle to the drag, or late to the check down whip route, with our feature route being the post in the middle of the field. So a lot of times what you'll see is your opponent will kind of guard the drag, get back, and then the whip route is the killer, the backbreaker route that oftentimes cannot be defended. This route is basically a staple in every single offense because of the fact of the matter being that it's always wide open if you don't make specific adjustments. And a lot of times you're not trying super hard to guard a check down until they prove to you that they're going to take it. But again, you see right here, this is with it on the other side of the field. And just look how easily we can throw this over the middle. It's a guaranteed 6 to 7 yards if tackled right away. And it has the potential for much, much more than that if you guys catch it in a pocket of the turf that is, you know, not covered by the zones. Now, on top of that, man-to-man is not very good against whip routes as well. So whip routes being able to beat both man and zone makes this the money route of the game. You see right here, basically breaks wide open against the man-to-man. Right there, my user was in the middle of the field, but you saw how this route separates as it turns the opposite direction. So you see right here, up to the outside, and then separation over the middle. You see that's got about 2 steps. And if there isn't a user in the middle of the field, this is going to be a rack and potentially 30 or 40 yards against man-to-man. And that's just the whip route over the middle. Now, a lot of times what you'll also see players do is use whip routes to the outside. Take, for instance, the play bench pivot. With this particular play, you might see a lot of times just a streak, a corner, a flat. A lot of times with this, they're just going to look for this route that's going to pivot and go back to the outside. And you see right there, it could be 12 to 15 yards, just like that, if your user's not super low on that. You also factor in that there are a lot of different whip routes that you guys might run. In this example, bench pivot, the whip route is to Jennings, but in the play dig return, you're going to notice that it's to Deebo Samuel. So guessing what player is running the whip can be really, really tough. So you see again right here with this play, this route is basically just wide open. You can conservatively catch it. That's a gain of 8.5, 9 yards. If there's more room, you're at catch it and you might be out. So how do we defend the whip route? Well, I want to take you guys into my favorite zone in the game that you guys are going to want to utilize. And this is a tip that just came out yesterday. Yes, yesterday in my most recent vault update on Gridiron game plans. It's not often I put out a tip immediately after I put it in the vault, but I've got so much other great content on Gridiron. In fact, I just dropped an entire defensive game plan out of the dollar. I guess it's now known as the Dime 3-2. You guys have seen the meta dollar that's out there and just won an MCS belt. I have basically gone in and added a bunch of off meta stuff to run around that particular defensive formation. It's going to be the #1 defensive meta in the game this year, moving forward, on top of the double mug. I think that you guys should go check it out. I've included a lot of different blitzes that nobody is running in that game plan. And this concept can be employed out of those blitzes to bring pressure, force checkdowns, and be able to get those interceptions. But I'm going to show you just the adjustment here for this. So what we're going to do is we are going to go into our defense and we are going to look for a cover 2 based defense. And the reason that we want to run a cover 2 based defense is that you guys are going to have these hook zones that are called hook zone curls. These are different in the way that they behave compared to hook curls that are found in a cover 3. Now, don't get me wrong, a hook curl in a cover 3 can do a decent job, but you're going to understand with the adjustment that I'm going to suggest here in a moment why the hook zone curls are better. So let's go back to that cover 2 defense here and kind of show you guys how this works. So we got this cover 2. Now here is my suggestion. When you expect a whip route to be on the field at all, we are going to shade our coverage down by hitting Y or triangle on PlayStation and flicking the right analog stick down. This will change any other purple zone or blue flat zone into a hard flat. So if you guys do not want those, you guys will be able to change those back to cloud flats as you see fit. Now, I'm very confident in this tip. So I'm going to take these other hooks that are in the middle of the field out of the equation. And I want you to just watch what happens with these 2 hook zones on the field. Let's start off with a whip route that breaks over the middle. We're going to go with a drag. We're going to go with a little bit of protection for our quarterback, a post, and then this backbreaker route that is always open. Notice here when I snap this ball that this shaded down hook zone curl stays on the back of the player as he is whipping over the middle. This adjustment is good. It guards the inside whip tight. I've got a better suggestion for you here momentarily. Now let's talk about the whip that is more conventional, the one that is going to go to the outside. So I'm going to shade my coverage down and then re-cloud flat here. We're going to go with the dig return that we just ran to Deebo Samuel. Watch how this whip route works against this defense. Again, I'm going to remove my middle of the field zones, just drop them deep. I want you to watch specifically the hook zone curl. And you're going to see how it's basically in a spot where it can intercept the whip route going back to the outside. Just a simple shade down. We have the outside whip intercepted by this adjustment. The inside whip is covered, but we could do a little bit better. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into our coaching suggestions and we're going to go into our zone drops and we're going to set our hooks to 5. So again, we're going to shade down. Believe it or not, shading down with a zone drop still impacts the way that it flows within its zone drop. So we're telling it to stay at 5 yards, but we're shading it underneath. And I want you to watch what occurs. First, starting with the whip to the outside, you're not going to see much of a difference. You're going to see that it's going to drop to the outside and then it's going to drop back inside and intercept the whip as it breaks outside. The one that everyone wants to see is the whip that breaks back over the middle late in the play. Let's see how that behaves. So again, hook zone curl on the field, we shade down. So we go ahead and run this here and you're going to see that the shaded down hook zone curl is basically a fluky throw if you're going to complete it at all. In the previous example, he got inside position, held on to it with the guy on his back. In this situation, with the shaded down 5-yard hook zone curl, you're going to see a better result. Now, what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to kick Byron Murphy out of the slot. I'll put in a higher overall player here just so you can see it. So let's put in Stephon Gilmore or maybe even somebody like Harrison Smith. And we'll go right back again, 5 yards on our zone drop. And we're going to run this whip that goes back over the middle. Shaded down hook zone curl. You can re-cloud your players as you see fit. Snap the football and watch how Harrison Smith basically smothered that route the entire way. Now, of course, I understand that this is a cover 2 on the back end. This is where I'm going to urge you guys, if you're saying, well, hey, this guards that, but what about this? Obviously, there's a little bit more to this. I want you guys to go check out Gridiron Game Plans. I've got breakdowns for bunch, trips tight end, all kinds of different offenses, bunch strong. You guys name it. I'm showing you guys how to stop it. This is focused solely on the whips. If you guys need shells for bunch or the bunch strong, go check out the entire game plan on the website, but I'm going to leave that right there for you guys. The shaded down 5-yard hook picks off or stops whips inside or outside. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, this is Zan. Get the lab in. Good luck.